So, we mentioned water sports in Tampa.
What I don't do when I'm not working.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. So you're just coming off of a 5-day, pretty intense session with, can you explain it? Dragon boating, right?
Yes. So years ago, back in 2005, I was introduced to this sport called dragon boat by my younger brother. And I fell in love with it. And I joined the local club team here a year later in 2006. For those who don't know, dragon boat, it's a 20-person canoe. Originated in China. 10 rows, 20 people. You have a helmsman in the back, drummer in the front, similar to a coxswain in rowing. And it's a sprint sport. 200 meters, 500 meters, 1,000 meters, 2,000 meters. And you just go. Mm-hmm. Paddle your heart off and just go. And I just fell in love with it. I've always been athletically inclined my entire life. I never really got the opportunity to explore that athleticism in high school or after, but this was my outlet. I could explore that side of me. And from 2005, I loved it. I got HSBC involved in it because we had 3 teams here locally. They had sponsored races up in New York, up there, but nothing down here. I got them involved here. 3 races. We had 3 teams for 3 years. It was one of the major sponsors down here. Threw a lot of money into the community. That's when HSBC everything was still going well.
Yeah, they weren't. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
They were bleeding.
And then, like I said, joined the club team. When I moved away and when I moved back, I rejoined paddling. That was one of my main things of moving back here because I wanted continue my career and get back into the water.
So the paddling in the cornfields is not a thing.
Didn't work. There's a big Lake Springfield, but it didn't work. Mm-hmm. So I came back, found the sport again, and I so happened to fall into coaching of my club team. And on top of that, me competing at a higher level, I've been lucky enough and determined enough that I've made the U.S. national team 4 times. The World Championships are every two years, 2013, 15, 17, 19. So 4 or 5.
And you've been around the world with this, yes. Right?
So I've gone everywhere from Hungary to Poland to Italy twice, China, Thailand, Canada, with this sport. So I coached my club team. And last year, a very good friend of mine, Megan Roberts, who's up in Philadelphia, who was one of my teammates on the U.S. national team, she came up to me and said, "Hey, listen, thinking of coaching the U.S. women's national team, but I want you to do this with me." And I was absolutely blown away, honored, because my club team here had a very strong women's program, more so than the guys' program, because the girls carried us. And she came to me and asked, "Hey, do you want to join me on this?" I was like, "Sure, that sounds like an awesome idea." We both had been around the program for the better part of the last 10 years and just giving back. Now they were both, I'm 40, going on 44 next month. I'm not going to be able to hold on to these younger kids coming up and beating me out. So starting to transition that phase of my life from active athlete to more of a coach on the national side. So, and then we hosted a 5-day camp for the national team contenders here in Tampa this past year out of the Julian B. Lane Tampa River Center. That's where my club team is based out of. So we use my club boats, my club's equipment, and we hosted a group of over 110 people that came down from Philadelphia, New York, Boston, LA, Texas, all over the place, for both the premier program and some of the senior categories, over 40s, over 50s. So it was an awesome adventure. So
that seems like a really tight-knit group of people too.
You have to
from what
be.
I see.
You have to be, because you're literally right next to each other in the boat for multiple practice sessions and races.
Yeah.
So you have to get along. You have to be very tight-knit.
We can see sometimes you're out in Tampa and you can see it out in the water. Yeah. Right? You guys are right there on display for everybody out practicing.
Yeah. We paddle up and down the river. We go around Harbor Island. Sometimes we go around Davis Island. Mm-hmm. It's awesome. It's a spectacle. Some people just see it, hear the loud drum. They're like, "What is that?" And they just see this long canoe just go by.
Cranking fast too.
Exactly.
Like really booking it. Yeah, that's really cool. I've always thought that was a great way for you to stay connected with the community and be a real part of Tampa.
Oh, absolutely.
It's like, what else is there in Tampa? You've got the water, you've got the people, you've got the buildings, you're like right there in the middle of it all.
Yep.
That's
and
great.
My club team is involved in the community. We have we do river cleanups with Keep Tampa Bay Beautiful. We have our name on one of the signs along the river walk. So we're very involved in our community aspects of what the club's mission is.
That's great. Yeah, I've always admired that. I think you do a great job of that. And you got the personality to be able to coach, and the experience and the, you're patient and you're caring and you help people. And
my wife says I have the patience of a saint sometimes.